Support for Street Rotting American Style is provided in part by BG Products Incorporated. BG Products Incorporated is dedicated to making vehicles last longer and perform better in the meantime. In shops all over the world, BG Products serves the driving public with innovative products and proven programs of automotive maintenance. More information can be found at bgfindashop.com.
Next, we'll take a look to see which famous celebrity once owned this 34 Ford pickup on Street Rotting American Style.
Dale, we've seen a lot of cars here, but you don't see a lot of trucks. Tell me about the truck we got here that you've brought in.
This is a truck that I've known since 1975 in California when I lived in California, and it was an old couple that had it at that time. They purchased it from Bob Hope Ranch in Simi Valley, California, so it was originally owned by Bob Hope. The old man that owned it in California moved to Louisiana, back home, and he called me about 3 years ago and he said, "Son, I'm going to get rid of the old 34, do you want it?" And my wife said, "Yes." And I said, "Don't you want to ask about a price?" She said, "I don't care, we're going to buy it." So we jumped in a truck, got a trailer, went to Louisiana and brought it back, and it took me 2 years to put it together with what you got right now.
So do you feel blessed to have a wife like that?
Absolutely I do. I've got two of these cars, and I'm telling you what, we do this every weekend. Every weekend.
You said it used to be belong to Bob Hope, but I doubt that it was like in the condition it was. I mean, I don't think he had a small block in it. And
No, it was an original car. He had the Hope Ranch out in Simi Valley, California, and he had horses and cattle. And he wanted, when he came off a tour, he wanted to have a vehicle that he could go feed his animals with. This is the truck that he used. I thought it's kind of cool just to think that Bob Hope used to drive this truck around.
that is great. Now tell me, when you got the truck, what was the first thing you did to start restoring it?
Tore it apart, tore it down to nothing. It was down to nothing but a bare frame. I mean, from bottom line, not an original bolt is in this truck. Every bolt in this truck is new, every bolt.
You said 3 years to do this?
2.
2 years to do this. That's fantastic to do it 2 years.
In my garage, and I just had a ball. My wife was always telling me, she said I'd sit down and watch TV downstairs, and she'd say, "Don't you have something to do on the truck out there?" Yeah. She wanted me to finish the truck, and so therefore she has really pursued this and pushed this, and so we got it done in January, and we've got 13 trophies thus far since January. Trophied at Starbird's. First show it car, it finished it the day before Starbird's, drove it to Starbird's, no insurance, no registration, no license, no nothing. Drove it to Starbird's and trophied. First time, and I've been going to Starbird's for like 7 years. She goes the first year with her truck and gets trophied.
You say 2 years in doing it. How much you got into this?
In receipts, I got 21,000.
21,000.
2,800 hours.
That's a loving wife.
That's a loving wife.
Tell me about the drivetrain. What's in the engine?
It's a 1985 305, came out of a Monte Carlo Super Sport. It's got a turbo 350 that's just been rebuilt. It's got the rear end came out of a race car, a super modified that raced in California, and it came out of a 1958. And people that only know this will understand this and appreciate it. It came out of a 1958 Mercury Turnpike Cruiser station wagon. It's not a Ford 9-inch, it's a 9 1/8. This rear end is indestructible. You cannot break it.
What have you done to the engine itself?
Just got a complete overhaul with a little cam. And then a whole bunch of shiny goodies, because my wife's favorite color, if you can't tell, is chrome. So we did a lot of chrome.
Transmission-wise, what'd you do to the transmission?
Transmission got a shift kit in it, shifts real hard. Don't drink coffee when you're driving it. And other than that, it's a stock turbo 350 with a 2500 stall converter with a shift kit, and so it does shift kind of firm. And as light as it is, with the power that it makes, it breaks the tires loose every time it shifts. So you will wear most of your coffee if you're trying to drink coffee and drive it.
Why'd you go automatic instead of standard?
I built the truck for my wife. I didn't want to have to be replacing clutches on a regular basis, and I hope she never hears that.
So you got a 2500 stall speed kind of torque converter. What's the gearing in the rear end?
Real tall gear. It's got like a 223 gear ratio in the thing. So we took it to Burns, Kansas here just a while back for a car show up there, and then coming back 75, 80 mile an hour, no problem. Straight as an arrow. And like I say, when I rebuilt it, it's got a 78 Ford Mustang 2 front end underneath it. It's got new rack and pinion. All the bushing's been replaced. All the ball joints, everything's been replaced. Take your hands off the wheel, 75 mile an hour, straight as an arrow. It is sweet.
No, this is more than just metal. There's wood in this. Talk to me about the woodwork. You did this woodwork yourself, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a carpenter. I've been a carpenter for a number of years, and so I worked for the Kansas Turnpike for years in the construction department. And so come time to put a bed in it, I figured, well, you got to have wood, it's got to be oak. And so I had built the dashboard probably 6 months before I actually started finishing the truck, but I figured, well, I'm going to do that in oak. So I did that in oak, and my wife said, "That looks good. That's what I want in the back." And I thought, oh Lord, now I got a project. So anyway, I had to do the complete bed in oak, and it came out pretty nice.
when you're driving on the road, aren't you kind of looking at the corner of your eyes to see if who's looking?
Everybody does. Everybody does. You spend your time thumbs up, and people that have never seen it before, especially the older people who you can tell they're saying, I used to have one of those. Everybody that's over 70 years old used to drive one of them, and that's what's cool.
Can you start this bad boy up for me?
Oh, sure. Sounds like a hot rod.
That's what we want.